So today we're here to demonstrate the Beauty Airbrush system. Essentially, it's an airbrush system that you can use with either any kind of makeup, or you can actually use one of our ampules that we have that are available. First, let's start off with the machine. So essentially, we have the machine right here. It's rechargeable. Okay, it has an adjustable nozzle in here, power button, and your actual sprayer. So once you turn this on, you're gonna have to pull this back so that it can actually spray. Okay, so let's put this back. So first things first, let's go over all the stuff that we have. We're gonna have the two little containers of your liking, so you can put anything you need. And the two nozzles that will end up going on top of that once you put that on. And then we have the charger. Let's get this out of the way now. So essentially what you do, whether it's one of our ampules or whether it's a different item that you might be using, okay, they're pretty much the same container size, and these nozzles fit on either one. So you just put the nozzle on. Now if you were to have a new one, essentially what you got to do, you got to peel off this cap. Okay, once you get this cap off, then you get the little metal part off of it. That's going to start the shelf life on that, so we're not going to take it off just yet. So once we take it off, it's going to be clear like this. Pop the nozzle back on. Okay, try it on this one just for video purposes. So now it's ready to go. So since this one does have just water in it, we're going to actually demonstrate this one, get this one out of the way. So first things first, you need to make sure your machine is off, completely off. Once you turn that blue light on, you see that blue light on, that means it's on. You're going to hear it working, so you need to make sure it's off. Now the machine does have two settings. The first setting is the high set. Okay, so you're going to press it. You can hear a certain level of noise, and you're going to press it again, and it's going to kind of go down a little bit, so it's going to spray a little bit lighter. Okay, keep in mind that once this is on, it's not spraying until you pull this back. So now a good practice is always to, before you start and every time you finish, is always to spray this out of here. Any kind of liquid it still might have, you gotta get it out. Okay, you don't want, so that's it, now it's empty. It's completely empty. Now this is a good practice to do at any time that you finish using the machine or before you use the machine, because you don't know what's in there. You want the machine to be clean. Some issues that we can encounter is if you do leave some of that liquid in there, it's going to seep down here and it's going to make it very difficult to charge. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw on the machine. Machine is off. Always make sure it's off. I'm going to pop this in here. Make sure that the machine is upside down. Okay, we need to make sure it's upside down before we actually put the liquid in there. That's gonna prevent some of the leaking and the seeping into the battery section and keep your machine working tip-top shape. Okay, so now we have the liquid in there. Put it on. We're gonna put it at the high setting. So now it's ready to go. So all we gotta do is pull this back. And it's gonna start spraying. So this is just water. Okay, so that's the first setting right there. I'm gonna go to the low setting. Once the low setting's on, it's going to spray a little bit more softer. If you feel it's not even enough, you can put it down to the low setting. Okay, so now we're going to go over the last function of the machine. I'm going to take this off. Again, go upside down. Take the machine off. I'm going to turn it back on, get any of the little excess that's in there. It's always a good idea to put at a 45-degree angle just to get all the stuff off. So see, now it's empty. It's empty. So now we're going to go over the last function that this machine has, which is the little nozzle right here. So this little nozzle right here is going to control the amount of flow that you're going to have coming out of the machine. Okay, so quick rule of thumb, clockwise, it's going to make it go for a smaller string. Counterclockwise, okay, it's going to give you a bigger string. Okay, so right now I'm going to go probably to the max setting, which is about right there. You don't want to go all the way because the nozzle will come off. Okay, so I'm going to try it back on. There's a little notch right here. So that little notch right there basically goes into these little notches right here. Once that puts in right there, you're going to feel it kind of slide in. And you just kind of give it a little twist. And it pops into place. And now you see it's securely on. Okay, again, put the machine upside down while it's off. Pop the nozzle back in there. Now we're going to go into the function of this nozzle right here. Okay, so this nozzle, right now I'm turning it clockwise, okay, all the way this way, clockwise. And essentially that's the smallest spray that you're gonna get. And you can turn it and make it a little bit softer, but there's one thing that you need to be careful of. Okay, so you're gonna hear a noise, right, when it turns on. When I turn this, when it gets to a certain point, the noise is gonna change a little bit. Right there. So that setting right there, you already turned it too much. Okay, when you do that, more than likely you're gonna actually get some leakage, and we don't want that because sometimes these are very precious. Okay, very expensive. Can't have that stuff just leaking out. So once you hear that noise, you know you went too far. Okay, so we need to get back to that regular noise. That regular sound where it's just kind of steady. So it's just, you hear the difference again? There's that. It kind of sounds like a car revving up. And you want it just kind of idling. Okay? So we're going to go back to kind of regular. So this is all the way tight. And we're just going to make it a little bit looser. Okay, just to get a little bit bigger spray. Okay. I'm going to pop this back on. Okay. We got our liquid here. Again, turn the machine upside down, which is one of the most important things. Because if you put this while it's right side up, while you're putting this, some of this liquid can go into areas not in the tube, and it can actually get into the machine. So that's one thing that we want to avoid. Okay. So again, upside down, pop it in, and now we're ready to go. So the spray is going to be a little bit more. It's going to be spraying a little bit more. And again, we always have that setting, and we have that soft setting. Press it again. It's a little more steady stream. And obviously that's going to be more to your liking. Whatever you feel is more effective. And whatever works for you. Okay, so that is pretty much it. Again, the machine's off. Pop the capsule off. Now we're done. Again, the most important thing is once you're done with the machine, turn it back on and get all that excess spray out of there. You gotta get it out of there. So you have that sitting in there, you don't know where it can go. There, it stopped. See, so now you know the machine's empty. Turn it at a 45-degree angle just to make sure. You can even go upside down. Just to make sure that there's nothing left in there, because the machine is gonna be sitting there and we don't want any of that stuff kind of seeping into the wrong places. Okay. Once we're done, kind of give this a rinse, because right now this is water, but you'd probably be using a different product. Kind of rinse this out, put it back into the case, rinse this out, pop the cap back on, put that back into the case, and goes without saying, ready to charge. Just pop this thing off. You get your charger here, and that just pops into there. And that goes to any outlet that you have available. So that pretty much wraps it up for our video. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We're more than happy to answer them. Thank you.